going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Professionalism Looks Like Me, sponsored by B Number One LLC. I'm your host, Brennan, and today we're continuing our mission to highlight what professionalism looks like in real life from real people with real stories. As always, our guest today shows a unique blend of experience, innovation, and purpose in everything that they do. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get off the phone call with me and enjoy the episode. Peace.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marcus Hartle, and Professionalism Looks Like Me.
Cool. Marcus, let me officially welcome you to Professionalism Looks Like Me. This is just a space for us to literally talk, have a chill conversation, but a conversation about professionalism. So without further ado, I kind of just want to dive right into your foundation and you finding your voice. I think that's a really cool story that you have with that. So I know that you built a strong career in both finance and data by your own experience, you either outsourcing experience or even doing it yourself for like projects and things of those sorts. So those are two industries that can be very like structured in a way where it's like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. How did you find your own voice and rhythm in those spaces, you feel like?
Yeah, I would say like two things. I try to be as like unapologetically myself as I can be, like, but to a certain extent, obviously, like you don't want to push it too far and be disrespectful to people, but like I don't try to put on a front. I try to be myself to my full extent. And part of that is I'm a very curious person. So like I would sometimes in college, I would annoy teachers because I asked too many questions. But according to them, I'd ask too many questions. But like that's something where I think it's kind of helped me learn, express myself, because if I know what's going on, then I can like hit on these different solutions and things like that and express it in my own way. So that was like a lot of the way of helping me find my way and figure out, okay, when can I kind of show more of this side of me? When do I show this side of me? Because like you really do have like multiple kind of personalities depending on the situation that you're in. It's like you can put on different so it's kind of finding a good mesh of that. With still being yourself, not being a fake version. But I'd say authenticity and curiosity were probably like the two biggest things for that.
No, that's real. Yeah, because like just speaking on that curiosity, oftentimes with curiosity, that means to you even learning even more. So like it's kind of like, hey, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm just trying to learn more so that I could be well suited and well equipped to do everything else that I got to do. So yeah, no, I love the fact that you brought that up. And with that in mind, when it comes down to your individual mindset, like how was your mindset in college? Like I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, and probably from perspective of other students, like I would go there not to play around. Like and because I went to school, I'd set my classes up, which most people would hate, for 8 a.m. to 11 or 9 a.m. to noon. Like I'd crank it out at the beginning of the day.
I couldn't do the 8 a.m. I couldn't do it. So.
Dude, it was not great, but it would allow me to then work my job in the afternoon, where I got a lot of like good corporate experience during that time. So it like kind of helped me kind of put my head down and grind, because my goal, I didn't really like high school. I thought I was like, I'm learning too much useless info is kind of how I saw it. And then I got into college and I was like, okay, I'm studying something I actually care about. Yeah. I was lucky to figure that out before I went to college, exactly what I'm interested in and what I want to pursue a career in. So I was like, all right, well, since I know that, let me just go heads down and get into that. So I'd get to school, ask all the questions to all the teachers from 8 to 11, and then go work and get experience after that until like 5, 6 p.m. And then go home, do my stuff, hang out with people, relax, decompress, and then like rinse and repeat. And I was like, you know what, this hard work's going to pay off. And then eventually, like, once it came to post-graduation and all that, that hard work did pay off, and I ended up getting a job that I really, really enjoy at a large company that I was like shocked I would even get an offer from, especially going to like a smaller college. I didn't know how they would kind of accept people like that. I didn't know if it was like, oh, this is just an Ivy League thing, like we don't have a chance of getting in there. So it was cool. I was glad it paid off. But yeah, both my parents kind of came from like more of a struggling background, so like seeing that ethic instilled that in me, and I was like, all right, if they can do it, I need to like be my own man, like build myself too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I would say, how I approach that.
Yeah, and I want you to talk a little bit more about that mindset too. When it just come from like, hey, I'm at kind of like a institutional level. It's very much so great still academically, but it's not like an Ivy League. Like, what was like your mindset stepping into JP Morgan Chase? Like what was like your mindset? Like bro, what the heck? I just got the dream job I wanted. How am I gonna go about this? Like, am I even ready for this? Like, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. It was crazy because the building that I work in holds 13,000 people, and I think there's like a fun stat they like to throw around. I think it's the second largest single like employer building in the U.S. outside of the Pentagon.
wow.
And like so, it was like, all right, yeah, I'm working at a big company, but now it's like in my face. The first day I walk in, it looks like a mall in the building, so it was just like the sheer size. I was like, this is not Fort Wayne, Indiana. Like, like Dorothy, this is in Kansas. Like, I was right. Like, this is completely different. And I was like, ooh, like that. This is big. This is scary, but also it's big. So there's a lot. There's a lot of opportunity. Like I was like, I could go after anything I want. There's a one thing that people like to say at work is like, if you can't find a job at Chase, you probably can't find a job at basically any company because we have 300,000 employees. Wow. And there's all that. I mean, we have a in-house nurse practitioner there. We have a doctor on site. we have people that deal with like sports agencies for sponsorships. Yeah. We have what I do, which is more on like the tech side. We have front office facing for like financial advising, things like that. So like there's jobs of all sorts. I was like, all right, there's opportunity here. I just have to like put myself in those positions to get those opportunities.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you even mentioned that too, where hey, I got the opportunity, I got the resources. Let me just figure out my lane, my space, so then I can be able to go ahead and give my full all into what I'm into. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And not fully deter off from what you're interested in. So I'm also curious as well when it comes down to that. Like, you coming from Indiana Tech, of course, Indiana Tech alumni, Warrior alumni. With like a strong like academic record, what lessons do you feel like you carry from the classroom to like the corporate level? Because I feel like when it comes down to preparation, you studying for a test and okay, let me prepare for a presentation. Those kind of coincide a little bit. So I want you to kind of, if you can, speak on just how the classroom to the corporate level kind of structured you to be your best self when it in that kind of environment,
Yeah, I mean, I guess like again, it's always gonna sound cliche, like just saying work hard, but I mean it's a big thing. Like if you can be complacent, and that's fine. It's not a problem to be complacent. That works for some people. Because of like watching my parents and other people, I've always just wanted to like hit that self-actualization on that like pyramid of full self-development. Like I want to hit that top or whatever that top is for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've always wanted to hit that. So, I mean, I did try doing that in school. Like I got as good of grades as I could. I tried to graduate with the highest GPA I could. Or like, all right, now let me get the best job I can get out of school. All right, I got that. Now how like either high up in this company can I do? How much of an impact can I leave behind? Like how many people can I help during my time here? It's like, there's always
that different mindset. That mind frame.
Yeah, it's like never be satisfied. Be happy when you achieve those goals because that can be like a steep slope of never being satisfied. It could be bad if you are like, oh, I hit this goal. Now what's next? No, like appreciate it each time you mark that checkbox. Appreciate that, but always be like, okay, now what's the next thing? What can I do to keep evolving myself? Because if I'm 23, I don't need to become complacent. I don't need to like hit flatline right here. Like let me keep going. I got potential. I have time. And I would say like college helped me hone that in and bring that into like the more like corporate full-time world after school.
Yeah, and there's a main thing I want to also incorporate into what you just said too, where it's like it's a mindset thing.
100%.
If you're there 100% mindset, you're like, hey, I know this 8 a.m. is gonna suck, but I'm gonna go to it. I'm gonna be okay with it because I know it's gonna pay off in the end. Like you even thinking in a long form way, kind of allowed you to really like get used to the hard work. So the hard work then became of you, if that makes sense. So
yeah. You make it a habit, and then like once it's a habit, it makes it easier. It's like the getting to that point. It's tough, and then once you just make that routine, and you're like, okay, this is just what I do.
Yeah.
Like this is, and then one thing too that I did, because I'd heard from other like professionals, and just like mindset coaches and like psychologists and stuff is like the daily affirmations. Like those do really help. Like I printed off also a list of, and they were very, very like high achieving objectives that I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna ever be able to hit these, but I'm gonna read these every day and just like subconsciously put that in my head. And I do think it helped. Like I was like, I think I've hit. They're like throughout the rest of my life, but I think I've hit 4 or 5 of them so far, and I didn't know if I would be able to. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't think I was gonna hit that, so that's awesome. But it's like I just hit that so hard into my head that I think it's subconsciously I'm acting towards it, even if I'm not purposely doing it.
But bro, that's one of the main things too, where you're deciding for yourself to strive to be even the better version of yourself. So when it comes down to that, and that's the main reason that, I even strive for be number one in general, is because I just want people to understand that, hey, you can strive for more, you can strive for better. It's start with a mindset though. If you're able to fully intellectually think in a mindset where, hey, no, I'm going to be able to obtain this because I know I'm going to put in the proper work, I'm going to put in the proper time, I'm going to do the things that I need to do to excel and to just honestly be a better version of myself, everything else is going to work itself out. So that's really dope that you that's really dope that you even do affirmations, and because some people don't even know about that. Some people like the psychological.
I thought it was just like some foo-foo thing. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, does this actually work? I do think it works. Like, I think it helps, and it's like whether it's a goal, whether it's just positive self-talk, like something like you gotta be your own best friend to hit those levels. So like if you do that positive self-talk, I think it'll help you along the way a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of want to transition here when you kind of talked about your goals and the affirmations that you actually ended up hitting. How do you balance, or how do you recharge yourself without losing momentum of your identity when it comes down to like, I mean, I didn't reach that one, but I'm gonna try to get this next time. Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, like that's where I was saying a little bit before about like when you hit these goals, about never being satisfied, to like kind of bask in it. When you're like, okay, I hit this, I'm happy, and then let it soak in, and then hit the next one. But it's also the same thing if you don't hit it. Like, all right, dang, that sucks. But like, all right, can we modify this to try and hit it in a different way? If not, like, all right, cool, on to the next one. Like, don't let it put you down for that long, because like life has hands. Like, life's gonna hit you. It's gonna. So it's like you might not be able to hit everything you want, but if you let that tear you down, you're not gonna go anywhere. You gotta keep your head up, keep your chin up. Like it's a process, and you can't let these goals that you wrote 10 years ago always define everything. It's good to help you get to points. It's like like aim for the stars, like shoot for the moon, aim for the stars, or whatever. It's like you shoot past what is even possible. And if you hit that, that's amazing. But even if you hit below that, because you strove so far, you hit higher than if you didn't at all. So I would be like, that's kind of how you have to, like that positive self-talk, once again, like you got to hit on that.
Yeah, that's real. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. We're going to talk about simply excelling. I know you were trying to recruit me for
I was for a little.
So what made you start Simply Excelling, and what did running kind of like your own entity, like your own business, teach you about the corporate world that the corporate world maybe couldn't in some instance?
Yeah, I mean, kind of once again, back to my parents, like they've been a big inspiration for a lot of the stuff that I do, and they both like have ran their own businesses on their side, like self-started people, and I was like, I think that'd be interesting. I think that'd be fun. I think like doing your own business, I like creative problem solving. I feel like it's creativity without any like shackles on you. Like you're your own person. You're the owner of it. You can kind of do it how you want. I also, another big point of starting it is because my parents had their own small businesses. I saw that a lot of small businesses didn't have the tech capabilities that they needed for like the day and age that we're in. and to outsource those is expensive.
Yeah.
And so if I could come with a more affordable solution to do like some small private consulting, help with tech problems here and there, I was like, I wanted to do that and just help other businesses achieve their best without feeling like, oh, some small mom and pop shop, they're like, all right, we run this grocery store. We don't know how to make a website for a grocery store.
Right.
And now we have to go pay this company a bunch of money that we don't have. I'm like, no, let me see. I was like, I'm in college. I think this would be fun. Let me go try and start something like this. So I think that was a big inspiration for that.
Because I know even you did get a couple of even like sales. Like you were like, yeah, like I'm gonna try to like really help these companies out while I'm in this mind frame to really improve their solutions. So how was that process like of like even like outsourcing for like sales like?
Yeah. It was I got it through like some through family friends, some through just like cold calling, or like reaching out. And LinkedIn was honestly huge. Like I think it helped more than I thought it would. So I got good connections on there, like posting frequently, making sure I stayed at the kind of top of people's pages. So it was like every time they logged in, they saw new posts, and so it kind of refreshed. Also, the showcase where we kind of met through Indiana Tech Entrepreneurial Showcase, that helped me get some good leverage until like really started out. Because that day, I think I talked to like 200 people in those 2 hours, and that was like such a blur, but it helped get my name out there from like kind of the get go. And so in like the Fort Wayne market, I think I had like a good basis. I knew enough people in the area that it helped. Once I moved to Columbus, it was a little bit harder because it was new people, new area. But I was like, just knowing people, like network is your net worth. Like, and that's true saying, people say it all the time, but it is true. And like, it is something I'll continue to reiterate, like who you know helps you drastically. And so you gotta put yourself out there. You can't be afraid to talk to new people. Like if you stay within your own box of people that you know, it's gonna hurt you. So that was another big thing.
Yeah, because that's one of the. I'm really happy that you touched on that as well, just regarding like networking, because networking is a big factor too. Like if I didn't even know you, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. I also want to hit on the fact as well of it's how you network with the person, how you make the person feel, the relationship that you're starting to build with that person. Like I said, me and you, like we went out and grabbed coffee, you know what I mean, and things like that. You picked me up, like and
I'm surprised you remember that.
Yeah. I do. So yeah, it was. But building those relationships are impactful. So like I'm able to like text you and call you, like hey Marcus, I got something going on. I would love to for you to share your thoughts on it and everything like that. And now we're here. But like that wouldn't have happened if we didn't network or even make the effort to even get to know each other enough.
It's like that butterfly effect. I think it's huge in networking. So it's exactly what you're saying. Or like this one little decision could affect something years from now, and you don't know at the time that it's an important decision, but it is. And yeah, so like exactly what you're saying. Networking is huge. Who you choose to network with, like you said, how you do it is extremely important, because just doing a cold call with somebody or like a chat and talking for 20 minutes and then be like, okay, have a good day, and neither of you got any benefit from it, like there was no personal connection, it's like that's not the right networking. Like there is a correct way to do it too.
Because when it comes down to just the networking piece, I think that goes over a couple people's heads when it's just like how you build relationships. Because like you said, you can figure out the automation, you can figure out the data and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you still gotta be able to at least articulate it to another person that don't know even about it at all, and that's a key skill to really have. And
oh, definitely, 100% for sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, I kind of talked about automation a little bit. I know you've created automation tools that have saved tens of thousands of hours. What kind of inspired you to start problem solving like that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like one of the things, come back to the Excelling, like the reason I started is because I saw like an inefficiency or something that I didn't think was running properly, like in the market, and I wanted to kind of capitalize on that. And that's And how I mentioned earlier, come to this company, there's a lot of people here, so there's a lot of opportunities, and that's like job opportunities, opportunities for growth. One thing you'll find out about big corporations, there's still a lot of manual work, and there's going to be for a long time. And it's like there's some stuff that is archaic, and it's like how can we fix it? Let's bring, especially as AI continues to develop, and like I have a big role in that at the firm, so it's like that's a lot of the solutions I'm helping to build out. I was like, there's a lot of opportunities in that space to help build those out. But yeah, it's hard. You have to search as well. Like they don't just fall in your lap. Like you got to make the opportunity. It's like it's you don't just sit there and someone's like, oh, well, I have this issue. A lot of time you have to go out and ask people, like survey, in a sense. To keep your eye open. That's where also once again networking. It's like then now you met this person. You're like, hey, they know you have these skills, so then maybe they will come to you. This issue, this process we're doing, can you help with that? So it's and also just like keeping your eyes peeled, like listening to people, listening to their problems, figuring out how you can do that. Thinking outside the box. Don't just go off of what the standard operating procedures say. Like maybe like that was made 15 years ago. We could probably do better now. It's like just because it says that's how we should just do it doesn't mean that's how we should always do it. Yeah. So keeping an open mindset, just always searching, talk to people. Like a lot of things go back to talking to people. Just be a person. Just be a human being, and it'll fix a lot of things.
Yeah, because even when it comes down to solutions in general, just I like you said, in a business mindset or even on a day to day of a mom and pop shop, it's one of those things where, hey, I got a problem. Can we fix it? Can we not fix it? What's the solutions that we can be able to obtain and go about it? And with that being said, it's kind of like you gotta talk to people in a certain sense where, hey, I'm able to offer these services. These are the things I can do, and these are the things that I can offer. But I'm curious because I kind of got a different perspective as well on it. How do you go about kind of like surveys to like see if this is like, oh, okay, this is like a one person problem, or do you go about it like, no, if it's a problem, it's a problem, or hey, this is maybe a big problem. How do you go about it? Does it have to be at least 10 people that got an issue, or does it be 50 people or 100 people? You see what I'm trying to say?
No, I see what you're saying. Like, what's the scale of the problem? Is it because sometimes like the time to fix that issue is not worth the amount of time it takes to do it, like take care of it manually. It's not always. Sometimes that could be for 100 people. If it takes maybe them 10 seconds, and it's something that automating it would save 5 seconds, but the amount of time it takes to automate it takes a couple months. Like, is that worth it? That's on priority list. That's probably pretty low. But if it's 3 people and it saves each of them an hour a day, like, okay, that may be like math. If you gotta do some math in it, but it's like maybe that's more impactful. Who knows? Like you have to see, and also like the criticality of what it is one just like replacing some stuff on a Word document versus like implementing, using like banking for example, like is implementing a trade, like and it's maybe only 2 people that are doing it, but that has a lot bigger impact than somebody that's maybe just like redlining a document, making some edits to it. So I think it's like the severity of the situation. Obviously, the time impact that it has overall is huge. The complexity of it, I think that there's a lot of components. It's not always just the amount of people that it affects, because sometimes it can, like I said, it can affect 2 people, but the magnitude can be much higher than an issue that affects 50 people. So I think it's you have to look at a lot of different things to figure out what prioritization you should put things in to kind of chunk them off the list.
Because I'm curious for you personally, how do you go about just analyzing that? Because like that's a whole bunch of different factors that like a lot of people, if they're narrow minded, they're not even thinking about that. They're not even thinking about how, hey, these 2 people, I'm saving them 2 hours of time, while 50 people are saying, hey, I'm trying to do something, but it's only gonna take them an extra 10 minutes to do, things like that. So it kind of sounds as if you're really doing a impact driven. It's really impact. The more impact, the better. kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I would say 100%. That's the way I approach. I take it's like I'll gather all of the data and then kind of list things out, see what my decisions are. I'll find the impact, and then also what's the effort it takes me to create that. Because then that's like maybe one's more impactful, but man, that's gonna take me 6 months. And it's like this other one could take me 3 weeks. It's less impactful, but it's a quick hit. We can get it off and help these people. So it's like it's very complex. And I wouldn't say it's a super standard set of all right, we hit all these boxes. This one's number one. This one's number two. There's a lot of things to weigh. But first, I would say impact to like the firm, impact to the people, time saved, and then once all that's lined out, all right, now how long is this development going to take? Now let's get to that point, and then that I think is kind of the final factor on what order to put things in.
Okay, yeah, no, that's very insightful because, yeah, I'm lucky I don't have to make those decisions because that's kind of, I mean, obviously in my role I have to do a priority list because I'm the director of our STEAM program for a national nonprofit that I'm a part of, and I kind of gotta, with each site is different and things like that, so I gotta prioritize things based on the month, kind of sense. But yeah, that's crazy though for a daily thing. That's very complex. That's very complex.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, am I making the right decision here? It comes up a lot, but I mean, once you start getting after it, then it's like, well, this is the decision we made. This is what we'll go forward with. Hopefully, we made the right one. Right. You don't always, but if you don't, then you just gotta pick yourself up and get back after it.
Yeah, because at least you're putting your best foot forward. You're putting your best foot forward.
And it's not like if you made the wrong decision, it's not like you willy nilly did it. You can like look at this. This is the analysis I made. This is why I did that. I have reasonings for why I went down this route. So it's a calculated decision, but so even if it is wrong, it shows you put in the effort to do your due diligence to try and make sure it's not.
Right. Yeah. Because I know you also, like, you worked in wealth management, HR analytics, and entrepreneurship. What would you say kind of brings all those experiences together for you in the current role that you're in now?
And like I'm gonna continue to iterate the same stuff for a lot of things. Once again, like my curiosity, I think led me to a lot of those different roles. Before I got my full-time job out of college, I actually had a thought process of I want to get a job in a variety of different industries before I get my full-time job because I wanted to see things from all different perspectives. So one role that I had was in customer relations and experience at a retail area. So I was able to see like firsthand dealing with customers on like the front line in a sense, dealing with their complaints, seeing what customers liked, what they did, and kind of looking at like the psychology behind it. And then another one, like for example, I was in HR for a bit, so I got to see the back end of that, dealing with all the rules and regulations, of just like running a business. I also worked in recruiting, so I got to see that side of it. The wealth management, like you learn things. Transferable skills are huge. Like it's just because you have a skill in one space doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't apply to another. For example, like if you work in tech heavily and you go to apply for maybe like a job that deals with clients that is not tech focused, your problem solving skills are probably really high because a lot of times when you're building an application, you fix one thing, two things break, and it's like, all right, now how do I do it? Like you're always on your toes, you always have to be ready to go, pivot at any point, and like that is a very useful skill that you can apply to all sorts of jobs. So I've just been taking little bits from every role that I've had, and now I can apply it to like what I'm currently doing. I think that also helps my problem solving capabilities because I've been able to see things from different perspectives in different industries, and so I'm not just fixed on just finance. Like I can see stuff from different angles. So I would say that is a lot that I like bringing together to cultivate like how my current thought process works for my current job.
Because with you doing all of that, connecting the dots and putting it all in full circle, how within your current role, are you able to exhibit I don't know, kind of like your own creativity or like into the space
Mm-hmm.
without losing, the professionalism touch of, kind of like how are you able to kind of put your own spin on it for you to be
Yeah.
able to do what Marcus to do what you do,
Yeah. I mean, I think one very important thing is like I found good people. Like I work with probably the favorite group of people I've ever worked with throughout all my jobs. Like the space is very welcoming. I also like targeted because I wanted to be in a space where I could be innovative. I can like try out all these different ideas, and that's our whole space is basically like R&D. Wow. In a sense. Like we're able to try out all these different ideas. If I have this, it's like they have a mantra like fail fast. So it's like if I'm gonna fail, let me do it quickly, figure out it was wrong, and then let me do something else. Right. But it's like they allow me to try all these different things. So I would say it fosters like my capabilities that I have. So it's like for me to think fast on my feet, like I think it fits really, really well. And that was something when I was like looking for this role, that was a key component. I was like, I wanted to go into an environment that kind of fostered that and cultivated that energy, and that's what I found, and I've been thriving in it so far. So I was like, I was intentional with that. That was something I was like, this is like the pay is not as important as all this. I need to like vibe with the people, and I need to be able to express myself as myself, because not every job does allow you to do that. There are some jobs where you have to be more reserved. So finding the right people, finding the right job for whatever level of yourself you want to express is very important.
Wow. Yeah, because that's a key component as well when it just comes down to the work environment. A lot of people don't really take that into account. They're like, yeah, let me go ahead and get the 6-figure job. Let me try to get the 70,000 to 60,000. But you're also jeopardizing a little bit of yourself when it comes down to, man, am I comfortable in this space? Like, am I actually comfortable? And am I going to be ready to go each and every single day and not dreading, to kind of go into the office, to go into the workspace. So yeah, that hey. for you, because a lot of people don't think about it, especially after college. They're just trying to get the role, they're trying to get the job, and don't really think about that perspective of like, man, am I gonna actually be happy here?
Yeah, I mean, and that's like it sucks because sometimes you do like you can't always get that your first role out of college. Like I applied to 30 different roles, and I heard back from one, and it was Chase. I got lucky. Like they're the one I heard back from, and they're the first one I heard back from. So I was like, all right, I'm not turning this down. Like this is a good role. And I was like, even if I hate it, the offer was for 2 years. So I was like, all right, let's grind out for 2 years. Like if it's not the best, I can still do it for 2 years. The network I'll probably build is huge, which I've rated on before. Like that's huge for me. The experience I'll get in 2 years, like working at a firm of this magnitude, is huge. So like I had still found silver linings in case it wasn't that. If I wasn't able to express myself, it was like, okay, maybe I don't have this, but I have these other positives.
Yeah.
But then I was able to like build my brand at the firm and like really excel, and then that helps me kind of be able to not pick and choose, but be able to have more of a decision on where I went for my next role, and kind of ensure this is a key part that I want, and actually be able to make that decision instead of just like, well, this is the role that I got, so I guess I'm just gonna deal with it. Right. So it was like, you know what, I took it, and then I tried to turn it into the best opportunity that I could make it.
And that's dope, man. That's dope. Because it kind of sounds like you kind of earned the trust quickly from the multiple roles that you were a part of. So, in your opinion, what do you think, I would say, allow people to take you seriously within the career that you're in, and know that, hey, I'm just trying to learn, I'm curious, I'm a sponge, just give me the information so I can try to do my best. What do you think characteristics that you have that kind of allow that energy to come around you?
Yeah, I mean, like willingness to learn. I was like, I know you have to know you're not the smartest person in the room, and you probably never will be. So if you think you are, like you've already failed, and that's a huge thing. Like don't think that. No, there's so much room for growth no matter where you are in your career. Especially coming out of college, you're like, I'm brand new. I'm a baby compared to everybody else. You're like, let me just learn, let me shadow people, ask a lot of questions. I mean, just being personable. Like, don't lock yourself away. Like, talk to everybody on the team, get to know them, make friends with them. You can't make friends with everybody on a team that you're on, and that happened to us, all right? You don't have to, but like, get that just a good relationship with everybody. And then I would say thinking like a level above where you're at is huge. Like, if you're like, for how it works for us, you go analyst, associate. If you're an analyst, don't think like an analyst. Do your best to think like an associate, and you'll get there faster. And that also makes people kind of look at you in a more mature manner. They're like, oh, this person's kind of past their age. Their mentality isn't the age, the number that they are. It's above that, and like, that's something I've been lucky to have been told multiple times. People, when I tell them that I'm 23, they're shocked. They're like, I thought you're like 27 or 30.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I did. Like, I didn't realize it was that important, having that much of a contribution. But then when I look back on it and I've been told that, I was like, oh, it probably did help me in a lot of spots where people, I was in a sense mature enough. They didn't think that I was just fresh out of college, or they thought I was just somebody that's entering the workforce. They're like, oh, this guy seems like he has experience. He talks with confidence. Like, I wouldn't shy away, like, in meetings. Like, if you have something to say that's contributing, like, say it. Don't be scared. Like, if you're scared, you're not gonna, once again, networking, people aren't gonna notice you, and then they're not gonna say, hey, I think Marcus would be good for this. They're like, they ask this question, and like, you know what, maybe let's give them this assignment, or like, oh, they said they have this skill set, let's give them this. If you don't speak up, they're not gonna ask you. So I would say that was a big contributing factor.
Yeah, because I've noticed that as well. Just when it comes down to how you present yourself, I know that's a big factor. That's a big thing, and also it goes back to just the impact, the results. If they see, okay, this guy Brennan is doing this. He's hitting the dots for these. It's making sense. He's connecting the dots that we need on our end in order for us to help the company as a whole. You know, people see that stuff, and then if you present yourself in a manner where, like you said, you're in these business meetings with your higher ups, and you're actually giving quality advice, or even quality improvements to within the departments that you're in, that also gives you a leg up, where it's like, oh, this guy is actually confident as well, so he can actually articulate what he's trying to say to even people that don't even really know much about it. So I think that's a key component as well, that people need to really understand, and just be. You got to be your own self advocate. You know, kind of just like when it comes down to college. You know, sometimes you got to advocate for yourself if you want the certain grade that you want, or if you need extra experience, or need extra time to just be able to go about and get the most out of the experience that you're trying to cultivate. So yeah, that's one. I just love the fact that you even brought that up, because that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah, you gotta, being your own number one supporter is huge. Like, you gotta be there for yourself and always like lift yourself up. So if you're not advocating for yourself and people don't know you, they're not gonna advocate for you. Like, you gotta start that. You gotta be the initiator. So if you're not doing it, don't expect them to. So that's where, like, yeah, you gotta put your foot forward first, and then other people will come to help.
Gotta be your own advocate first, and then it'll come to you. Hey, that's tough. That's a bar right there. Okay, so in your experience, what's one part of, I'm gonna say, quote unquote, traditional professionalism that no longer fits today's workforce, in your opinion, and what should replace it?
Oof. If traditional professionalism, no, let me think about this for a second. Like, trying to think of what we define as traditional, especially being Gen Zers. Like, what do we see as traditional? I mean, I think, and something I've touched on is like the authenticity again is like, I think, huge. I do think you can be too much yourself. Like, it's like, I'm gonna act different with my friends than I do at work. Like, that's plain and simple. I'm not gonna act that same. But I can still find to be like, I'm a jovial, joking person. Like, I like to have high energy. I'm kind of all over the place sometimes, and it's like that's hard at work. I've found that doesn't fit in every situation. Like, I have ADHD, that does not always do well in every environment. But like, I would say finding like what the good dosage of yourself is, while still being like respectful to people. Like, don't talk to somebody that's 4 levels above you like they're your best friend. They're probably not going to take that well. But also don't talk to them like they're God. Like, it's like at the end of the day, we're all humans, and I think that's one thing too. Like, I guess a good point for like traditionally is it's very like hierarchy focused. So that's where I was saying, like, talking to somebody that's 4 levels above you. Yeah, they've worked their ass off to get there. Like, they've been probably there for 20 years to get to that point. But like, you should show them respect, but also like, don't, if you talk to like their people. I've talked to many people that are high above me, and they're a lot of times easier to talk to than somebody that's 1 or 2 levels above me, because they're a person at the end of the day, and they've also hit that point where they've like, why would I treat anybody else different? Like, they're going through the same thing. Like, they're going through the same steps I went through.
Yeah.
And so like, I think like that's such a perspective that people have. Another one too is like being a number. I think you can be like, we have 300,000 plus employees. It's very easy for you to be a number. But like, if you find the right people to work with in the space that you can leave an impact in, you don't feel like you're a number at all, I would say. And I think that a lot of like firms are starting to promote like individuality and all that. So it's less of like, oh, this is just a paycheck, and like, we're all here to be ourselves. Like, this is a big part of your week. Like, this is most of the time you spend is at work. So make it as good as it can be. Be yourself as much as you can. Don't think it's like a non-emotional environment where you go in, it's like, I'm just going to put on this facade, work my like 9 to 5 and leave. It's like, I think there's a lot of like corporate stereotypes. And it's like, I think some places it's still there, but if you can find a good area, I think those are starting to fade a lot, especially as like our generation grows up. I think our generation pushes back on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which not everybody likes.
Yeah.
But I do think, I do think it's a good thing if we do it right. Like, I think it can help change a lot of things for the better. So.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that as well. Corporate jobs in some instances, they get a lot of backlash, but it's kind of like, oh wait, like what do you really have to go through in order to be a good worker at a corporate job? But it's kind of one of those things where, like you said, you got to create that space. You got to create that that individuality aspect where hey, you know, I'm able to talk to this person, and I'm able to maybe talk to, I don't know, the CFO or the COO in a meeting, and we're able to have professional dialogue with each other. You know, that's a big component, and yeah, it's instances I've seen with people that were like new to the company, and they're talking to the CEO or the COO, and they're like, oh, like yes, you know it, like, but it's like, dude, this is just a person, like,
you don't need to like kiss their feet, bow before them, like, yeah, they're higher up than you, but yeah, they're a human being. We're all people. If you treat somebody like they're not a person, then it's gonna get weird. And have a weird, and be like, no, just come to me like a regular person, and that like respectful manner, professionally. You can still be yourself, but don't be like, this is somebody you've known for 10 years and they're your closest friend. It's like there's a good balance, and it's like figuring out that balance is the hardest part, and it's different for everybody. The balance is different for everybody. So like figuring that out for yourself, if you can do that early on in your career, I think is gonna help you tremendously.
Yeah, but it goes back to what we were saying initially, where it's like building that proper relationship. Like, you have to build a relationship first with that person, and you know, have even multiple interactions with them in order for you guys to even feel comfortable to, you know, deter off and talk about different things in different aspects. So yeah, that just comes with it, you know. So with that, if professionalism, I know we're kind of just talking about professionalism in a general sense, if professionalism had a new definition based on your journey, what would it be? If you can think through that.
A new definition based on my journey.
Based on your journey. Like, what would be your definition of professionalism, like based on your experiences, the things that you went through, in order to get to the position that you're in right now?
Mm-hmm. I mean, to keep with a similar theme I've been going, I would say commitment to like excellence, authenticity, and curiosity, while still having space for like yourself, and showing respect to others. Like it's do explore, be curious, be yourself, and bring that to every situation, because we all have unique perspectives. If you try to copy other people or be like, oh, I'm a copy paste corporate person, like it's you're not gonna see a lot of benefits of like bringing that unique perspective. But yeah, and then just like the relationships is huge. Like build relationships. Don't just go for your paycheck. If you want to like progress, don't just go there, do your work, and leave. Spend the time. I know that's like a whole paragraph definition.
No.
I was like, that would be like some bullet points that I would hit on for that.
Yeah, because I know you've done so much in such a short amount of time when it comes to your experience, and very much so you self-advocated for yourself and put yourself even out there to be able to experience, just everything that you've done regarding workforce, regarding your own individual business, and like with that, like what are you most proud of? You would say, like, besides everything when it comes to the accolades and certifications and all that stuff, what are you most proud of that you have personally obtained? You feel as though, as of currently right now, because I know it's probably going to be later down in like 5 years, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I feel totally different about that answer. Like, but what do you feel most proud of in your own personal growth?
I would say, honestly, probably my like emotional intelligence, I think, has increased a lot. Like one thing about, I don't know if you grew up in Fort Wayne or not, but like growing up in Fort Wayne, it's 300,000 people. It's Indiana. Like it's not a lot of diversity. Like everyone's from the same state. Like we're from the same city. Also went to college in the same city. So it's like, all right, it's luckily like Indiana Tech had a lot of international students. So I got to experience that. But like moving to Columbus, I think has been huge for me, because it's so diverse that it's used as a test market for a lot of firms for products, because we have people from all walks of life in Columbus, and Chase employs a lot of them, and so I get to meet people from all over, and so it's helped me like understand things from all different perspectives, from people's different like life experiences, from different cultures, like all of that. I think it's like really expanded my mind. Luckily, my mom's Canadian, so like I had a parent from a different country, so I'd kind of already seen that. But Canada's similar to the U.S., so yeah, it wasn't that different. I saw some differences, but like coming to Columbus to see people, like I have friends from Ghana, India, Egypt, like all over. Like it's so many different countries, so many different experiences. And I think it's like helped me expand how I think about things. It's like, it's brought you from that. If Fort Wayne's like the 100-foot view, it's like now I see like this like 300,000-foot view from all these different perspectives, and like that kind of, I would say it's like emotional intelligence that does play then back into my job too, because it's also, how is this application I'm building going to affect other people, and maybe affect people from like different backgrounds, or like just overall getting people's diversity in their opinions about the different things that they want. It's like, okay, let me see, or like, are they thinking this because this is how they interact with this item? Or are they thinking that? So it's like just being able to take opinions and like perspectives from all over, I would say is the biggest thing that I've learned, because it's like the head down approach is good to like grind it out, but when you're looking down, like you're not going to see everything that's around you. Yeah. And so that was one thing I was like, I guess we talked about earlier with college. It's like I was like very heads down. Like I came to school to like and joke and not play around. But one thing, once I got into like the corporate, I was all right. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna still work my ass off, but let me bring my head up, see what's around me, make friends, build that network, meet different people, build new perspectives. And so it's like that duality. So yeah, the emotional intelligence has helped me achieve all of those things. Like even in like a roundabout way, I would say it still had a huge impact on everything.
Wow. And that's really dope because even for myself, coming from a big city like Chicago, and then going to Fort Wayne. But the reason I even came out to Fort Wayne was just to give a different perspective and experience when it comes down to different nationalities and just different people in general. Just coming from without, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, getting out of my comfort
100%.
zone. Getting out of my comfort zone and really building a network and understanding how to network with people and even talk to people that I don't know. I mean, kind of like you said, like similar to your situation when you went out to Columbus, you didn't really know a lot of folks, but you had to take that time to really talk to people and get to know them personally and professionally. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's a really big component for sure. So I kind of just got two more things, and then we can go ahead. So, what do you hope people that's gonna watch this episode? What do you hope they gain from me and your dialogue today? Like, what do you think the main thing they should like take away from it?
Especially if you're going into like corporate America, I would say like don't be as scared as you probably think you should be. Like it's gonna be okay. Also, like we talked about, be your best advocate, have that positive self speech. Like, yeah, like as shit happens. Like we said, life's gonna come at you. You like, and hopefully this has been kind of a commonality. Is like I try to make the most of everything that happens to me, good or bad. Like it's like a lot of it's like obviously we talk about a lot of the good stuff, so it's like maybe I also turn bad situations into good ones. So it's like opportunities are not gonna fall in your lap. You got to make them. And a lot of how you make them is your perspective on things. So if you have a negative perspective on things, you're not going to create opportunities for yourself because you're going to think it's all bad. So like if you can flip things, it's hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. And it takes a lot of practice, and that's where like those daily affirmations come in. So it's like it's all kind of like linear. Like these things, you do these little things, and it builds up to this. So hopefully, they'll understand. Like I said, being your best advocate, positive self speech will help you achieve these greater things. If you're like, but you got to get yourself there first. Love yourself, I guess. The biggest thing. Yeah.
Well, I think it comes down to also you have to understand yourself first. Understand your strengths. Understand your weaknesses. Or not, I wouldn't even say weaknesses. Let me say areas of improvement, because you could turn your weaknesses into your strengths, later down in the next couple of years. So, you got to understand yourself first before you're able to even get that confidence within yourself to even self-advocate for yourself, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think the main thing I kind of just want everybody that's watching this episode to really understand is, understand yourself first and foremost. Then take the strive, build that confidence. But the only way you build that confidence is like what you said, Marcus, when it comes down to like, you have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, and it's kind of like similar to like a basketball metaphor. If I don't put up 1,000 shots a day or every week, how am I going to perform when it comes down to that actual experience that's right in there in front of my face when it comes to real time? I'm just not going to be able to. I'm not prepared enough to go about it the way that I need to go about it in order to exude my best self forward. So I think that's the main thing. I just want everybody to know, hey, like, be your own self-advocate, understand yourself, and, also another point that I wanted to just talk to, because I'm kind of spiraling all over, but another point I kind of just want to do is, like, yes, we're talking about the great stuff. Yes, we're talking about the good stuff, but guarantee, I'm pretty sure Mark has been through some stuff. I've been through some stuff, and I failed a lot. Okay, I failed a lot. I don't know if I can't speak on Marcus, but I tried things and it didn't work out the way that I initially wanted it to. But the fact that we're even pushing through and trying and continuing to just evolve into our better selves each and every single day, that's a win within itself. So
1,000%. Yeah, I mean, you said it amazingly. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Yeah, it's all about how you look at it. It's huge. Don't let it all get you down. It's all right to be like sad down in the moment, but like don't let it last. Don't let it be a cloud hanging over you. Like turn it around, pick yourself up. Like you're gonna be all right. But like you said, it starts with yourself too. Like it's if you need the help of people picking you up, you got to do it first. Like we talked about earlier, you got to be the one that puts that foot forward, because they're not going to come if you don't show that you're willing to do it yourself too. So it's like you'll build that community, build that support, but you got to be that support first.
Yeah, you got to be that support for yourself. And like I said, I know it's a couple people out there that's maybe even trying to still find their first role coming out of college, things of those sorts. Me and Marcus are fortunate enough to have positions that we're pretty straight on, but don't, you know what I'm saying? That's just a failure block that you're going through right now. That's not even a failure block. That's just a tough time right now that you're going through. And it's going to get better, because at the end of the day, you're putting in that proper work. You're putting in the time for the application. You're putting in the time to prepare yourself for interviews. You're putting in the time to know how to self-market yourself and self-advocate for yourself. You're putting in the time to do those things, so when the time is ready, you'll be able to fully achieve it. So I'm just a big ass
down,
man.
He's cooking. I was like, I'm gonna let him do his thing. He's going crazy right now. No, that's good.
Yeah. So this is kind of my last question for you, Marcus, before we go ahead and hop off for this episode. What does professionalism looks like to you? What does it look like to Marcus?
What does it look like to me? All right. I would say like, this is hard. I'm trying to not repeat myself too much, because I was like, I keep
no. It's okay. It's whatever. What does professionalism look like to you? You're a professional at the end of the day. You're doing great things within your company, inside, and I'm pretty sure outside as well. You're doing great things, but just what does being a professional kind of signify for you?
Yeah. So I think that's good. I would say like I just go and try to bring my best self every day, and it's like maybe that day 70% is my best self, because that's all I can get out. But like that's my best for that day. Yeah. Like if I can bring your best is not always 100. It's impossible for it to be 100. Yeah. You're gonna go through waves, and like you gotta accept that. You can't be too much of a perfectionist. So like bringing my best self, whatever it is that day. I like to like try and bring as best of energy as I can, because I think people feed off it. So like bringing that good environment, creating that like safe space, I guess, for other people as well is like a big thing for me. And yeah, just like having people like in a sense like know what I do. If they're like, oh, I was working with Marcus the other day. They're like, oh yeah, like that guy, like he's him, like he's the one that'll get it done. Like you got a problem, you go to him, like he's got it. Like it's my brand, keeping that up to date, like people knowing who I am. So there's a lot of different things I would say go into it, but I would say those are some of the key factors that I would consider for like professionalism and how I view it each and every day.
Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you.
Of course,
very much so. Like I said, this is my friend Marcus, guys. He's doing a bunch of great things, and he's only going to continue to get better. Like he said, he's 23, I'm 22. We're only going to continue to keep on striving and being better for ourselves each and every single time. I'm pretty sure in the next 5 years we're going to think totally differently than we're thinking now professionally. But this is where we're at right now. So I appreciate you guys, for everybody that's looking at the episode for Professionalism Looks Like Me, and be in tune for the next episode. I appreciate y'all.